Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Throwaway Lena. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband I don't enjoy doing his laundry? My husband and I have been married for 2 years now, been together for 4. I am 24 and he is 27. Recently, I've been stretched quite thin between full-time work and full-time school. I recently got more hours at work. I am almost done with my degree. I know I haven't been as happy or affectionate, but I thought it was understood that this will just be a moment in time where I am busy and working hard, but it will be over eventually. My husband works too, a 9-to-5 office job. The thing is, after a day full of work and classes that go into the night, I come home and make dinner, do dishes, clean up the living room, etc. I've sat him down and explained I have been unhappy because even once I am home, it is impossible to rest. He said he understood and he would do more tasks around the house. I made him a list of chores that would be helpful. He has done 1, and it was for a single day. Nothing since. I am feeling fed up. The kicker is, yesterday he said that I haven't been as affectionate and he misses me. I told him that I have been busy and with the house chores on top of work and school, I just cannot get in the mood to even cuddle or hug. Honestly, it is hard to be attracted to him right now, but I didn't mention that. He got angry with me. He started saying that I clearly didn't care about him because I know that physical touch is his love language and I have been depriving him of that. All I did was tell him, do you think I enjoy doing your laundry, cleaning up after you? Those are labors of love. It's not like I would do just anyone's laundry. You don't clean up the way you promised me you would. So if anyone is lacking in the affection department, it is you. He went silent, grabbed the keys and left. I feel really guilty that I accused him like that. Should I call and apologize? Am I the a-hole? No, OP, you're not the a-hole. You shouldn't feel guilty. Don't gaslight yourself. You didn't accuse him of anything. You called him out. And his reaction was shame because that's why he left. Not because he's angry. He's ashamed of himself. He's probably going to try to mask it as being upset or offended or something because it's easier. But the fact is that he's not being a good partner. He knows it. He's ashamed. You called him out. So now he's trapped. So there's only 3 possible ways that this could go. 1, he's going to try to be the weasel, the one that gaslights you, the whole drill. That type of scumbag. The other one is the one that's going to play it out like, oh, nothing happened here and just absolutely ignore that you guys had any kind of argument. Or hopefully he'll do the right thing and apologize. Take accountability for himself, acknowledge what he didn't do, and change. But in the meantime, you OP, don't contact him. Let him come to his own conclusion, and then you make a decision. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's move on to the community comments. Academic Dark 2413 says, what are you apologizing for exactly? Being upset that you do everything on top of work and study while he simply works and gets everything done for him? He needs to change or you need to leave because let me tell you, when you start bringing kids into the equation, you're going to be so overwhelmed. He should be doing his fair share and contributing to the maintenance of his home. Definitely not right. You are seemingly doing everything for a grown man while he's moaning you don't want to be affectionate. You're his wife, not his maid. Lee Jadis says, not the a-hole. I think it's time for you to stop doing things for him. Conserve your energy so that you can be more affectionate. Stop making dinner for the both of you. Stop doing his laundry. Stop cleaning up after him. It's not possible for one person to do it all, and it's no wonder that trying to do it all is burning you out and making you resentful. When he asks you why you stopped, you tell him the truth. You asked for help because you need help, and you are unable to do it all. Slow and Steady 3838 says, here's the thing. He's consciously or subconsciously manipulating you by running out like that. Don't call and apologize. Wait for him to come home and pick up the subject again. Of you needing help, not what he heard. Calling him a slob or saying what he heard, I hate doing things for you. Nothing was solved by your outburst or his bolting. If you fold, he'll think there's something wrong and you'll be back where you started, not the a-hole. And Competitive Mud 3047 says, don't you dare reward his tantrum with an apology. Focus on the facts at hand and stop letting him derail the conversation. He would clearly rather lash out and gaslight you than pull his weight like an adult. I know firsthand how difficult working full-time and getting a degree is, and no amount of gaslighting from the man-child you married will change the fact that you only have so many hours in the day. He needs to pull his weight regardless of whether you're in school or not. Having a man-child like this will just be more of the same unless there is real change. Change that he will have to seek and commit to. It's not something you can do for him. Be very aware moving forward because he is showing you exactly who he is. And if you're already building resentment 2 years in, it's not going to last unless he stops treating you like his mommy and you stop letting him. For your own sanity, there is nothing less sexy than a man treating you like his parent. And some killer says, not the a-hole. Maybe he needed to think. Maybe he'll come back and tell you were right. Maybe he heard a hard truth and is integrating it into his mind by taking some time alone to think. Either way, if you get desperate and apologize for sticking up for yourself in this relationship, you are headed nowhere good. Find out if he is capable of equal partnership now, not when you've added kids to the mix. Additional information from OP's comments. Honestly, the last few months have really opened my eyes. When we first got together, things made sense the way they were. I was part-time and helping take care of my grandma full-time because we couldn't afford a caregiver. So I was already in a caretaker mindset. Doing most chores felt natural then. I thought once I went back to school and started working more, the division would shift. It didn't. Now I'm up at 6 a.m., working full-time, sometimes 6 days a week, then going straight to class until 7:30 p.m., 4 nights a week. I leave earlier and get home later than he does, and still I'm coming home to dishes in the sink, crumbs all over the counter, clothes on the floor, and the dog needing attention. I cook, I clean, I take care of everything, and somewhere in all that, I'm supposed to magically have energy to be affectionate? He actually encouraged me to go back to school. We planned this together. So it's been really confusing that the support stopped at, yay, go to school, and didn't include, actually helping make it possible. I'm usually the one who apologizes after arguments. And yeah, this was the first time he stormed out. So I don't think it was manipulation. I think he genuinely got overwhelmed. But I'm overwhelmed too, and I can't keep carrying everything like this. You all are right. I can't deny that adding kids right now feels like walking straight into a disaster. I don't think we're doomed, but I'm realizing I need an actual partner, not someone who just waits to be taken care of because that's how his mom did things. I don't want to resent him. I just want a fair shot at the life we both said we wanted. Things have definitely shifted, and I guess this is me finally admitting it out loud. Well, the community agrees OP is not the a-hole and everybody's saying the same thing. Don't apologize. So, let's move on to the update and see how this story ends. So, I posted about 6 months ago about my husband not doing any work around the house and my difficulty being attracted to him as a result, which he was complaining about. I did what you all suggested and let the house go to crap. I cleaned up my own messes and cooked for myself, but left all of his messes up to him. I moved to the spare room so that I could keep my sanity. I needed one place that was tidy so that I wouldn't twitch as much. I started sleeping there because his unwashed workout clothes were rank and scattered across the floor. Dishes were piled up fast. His hair was all over the bathroom sink. There was trash piled up by the door. He complained about it all, accusing me of not doing my duty as a wife. When I reminded him that we go 50-50 on literally everything to do with finances, so we should be 50-50 with housework too. He actually said that he is now making enough so I can be a stay-at-home wife and a stay-at-home mom in the future. I had so much discontent in my body. All I could think was, no way in hell. He actually said that when we started fighting, he threw out all of his condoms and hid my birth control pills for the next month because he wanted to be a dad and he thought a baby would make me happy because I was clearly unhappy with it being just the two of us. This is a bit of a flash forward, but we are getting a divorce. Currently in the middle of it. I can no longer stand this man. I was thinking about how things have changed because I really did love him at one point and was wondering what went wrong. Here is some context. We met at church. I did grow up in a somewhat conservative community. Most of the women in my family got married and had babies fairly young. When I met my now ex-husband, we agreed that we weren't as serious as those kinds of roles, hence the wanting 50-50. But we still got married kinda young, and we did want kids eventually. Well, turns out his view on women has entirely shifted. It entirely sucks, but it feels nice to be able to put my finger on it. Who he has become wasn't who he always was, and the same goes for me. So I am finally figuring myself out, seeing what it is that I want. I relied on him for decision making way too much and let he want to take priority. It's nice to go grocery shopping and pick out the flavor of ice cream I prefer. I am actually much happier now that I'm on my own. Turns out that effort was actually keeping me pretty miserable constantly. If I get this level of happiness for the rest of my life, I am absolutely set. Smiley face. Well, it'll be good for you. You stood up for yourself, you let him carry his own weight, he didn't like it, and now you're on a better path. So here's wishing you the best in the future. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Chicken Wing Priest. Am I the a-hole for going off on my friend for getting mad at me because I won't hang out with his cheater girlfriend? I was asked by a friend of mine to stop by his place and grab some stuff one day a few months ago since I had a spare key. Nobody was supposed to be there since his girlfriend works at that time, but when I got there, her car and a truck I didn't recognize were in the driveway. Immediately assumed the worst and was right. Took a few pictures of the truck and car in the driveway, then went in to confront her, and she was half naked on the couch with another guy. Snapped a few pics and left before she could get dressed and chase me down. Immediately called my friend and let him know what I saw. Met up and showed him the pictures. He was heartbroken, but said he'd started to suspect things a few weeks prior, so he wasn't too surprised. He confronts her and she gives the usual cheater BS. It was a mistake, only happened once. I love you, he meant nothing. However, she couldn't keep up the lie and was forced to admit she'd done it with another guy a few months previously, and that same guy I caught her with the night before when she was staying late at work, but she was actually at her side piece's house. He broke up with her and kicked her out of his place. Seemed to be doing better until a couple of weeks later he gets lonely and takes her back. Now they are together again and I've stopped hanging out when she's around, so I don't see him as much anymore. We had the following exchange when we met up for lunch, and I'm wondering if I was too harsh. This isn't word for word, but it's the best I can pull from memory. He goes, "Why don't you come over anymore? We barely hang out." And I tell him, "You know why? I'm not hanging out with or around your girl. She's a cheater and I don't hang out with cheater. Also, she effing hates me because I'm the one that caught her stepping out on you, remember?" He says, "She doesn't hate you. I forgave her. It's fine. So just come over tonight and we can hang out. She wants you over there too." And I go, "Not happening. I hope you're happy with her, but I think she's trash. And I'd rather sit in a room by myself than pretend she's not a total piece of crap just so you can act like everything is okay." He responds, "Why the hell do you care? She didn't cheat on you." He was getting visibly worked up at this point, and I was probably looking about the same. So I said, "Look, if you want to sweep this crap under the rug and keep pretending things are fine while she figures out how to get some penis again without getting caught, that's your choice. But I can never pretend that I didn't walk in on her half naked with another man. And I can't pretend that you aren't an idiot for taking her back when she obviously is going to cheat again and has no respect for you. Hell, I have less respect for you taking her back." We sat in angry silence for a minute before I left, and since then, it's been mostly quiet. Got a text asking if I really think she's a horrible person, and I replied, "Yes, she's a horrible person. I hate her and hope one day you're smart enough to leave her, but until then, I'll be keeping my distance from you as well." And that's been about it. A few of our mutual friends hung out with them recently, and they say it's super awkward. My friend tries to get them to interact with her, but they also don't like her. They're just too polite to say anything to his face about it. So getting to the judgment I need. Have I been too harsh here? Was I an a-hole for snapping at him like that after everything that happened? Should I have just played nice and just made excuses not to hang out instead? No, OP, because that would just make you a liar. You're being honest with your friend, which is what you do when you actually love your friends. Nothing of what you said is a lie. And he knows it. That's why he didn't stand up for her. When you called her a piece of crap and all that, he didn't even complain, hey, you're being rude or anything. No, because he knows that what you said is true. Hopefully what you said will get him thinking, and maybe he'll do something about it. But if he doesn't want to, well, that's on him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Willing Confusion 330 says, not the a-hole. Cheaters are disgusting, and frankly, I do the same. If he wants to forgive her, that's fine, but you don't have to. You don't have to hang around anyone you don't want to hang around with, and nobody can tell you or not tell you who to be around. Artistic License says, I can't imagine having a good time being fake for several hours. It's sad for him, and perhaps they really have made some genuine changes, but that's between them, and you don't have to be okay with things just because he is. How's your friendship going to look in the future? Hanging out when she's not around and never talking about her? Also, I have learned that sometimes you have to watch people be stupid for a long time and just be there when they figure it out. Because I was stupid for a long time, and thankfully my friends were there when I figured it out. While I was in it, nothing they said helped. Now I see I was being a very stupid person. And Butterscotch Little 65 says, not the a-hole. He directly involved you in her cheating. Not necessarily by his choice, but he did say he suspected something before he had you go to his house. All you can do is be there for him when he finally pops his head out of his own ass and dumps her. Well, the community agrees he's not the a-hole. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. A month ago, I came here to get some perspective on a potential falling out with a friend of mine over him taking back his girlfriend after I caught her cheating on him, and she admitted to doing it multiple times. I stopped hanging out with him after we got into an argument over me not wanting to hang out with his cheating girlfriend. Things played out almost exactly how I figured they would, and I'm feeling pretty validated in my disdain for his now ex. After our fight, my friend and I barely spoke to each other outside of a few texts. Then, I got a call from him yesterday, letting me know he kicked her out. He told me he'd only taken her back after several weeks of her begging and promising to do whatever it took to win his trust back. One of the conditions of him taking her back was full access to her phone, laptop, and gaming console without complaint. He said at first she was happy to comply, but after a few weeks, he noticed her acting suspicious, and when he went to check her phone, she'd changed the passcode from the one they agreed on for him to get in. When confronted, she started screaming at him and telling him she's done enough to prove herself, so he needs to back off. He immediately dumped her and kicked her out. Said she immediately backtracked and tried to hand her phone over when she realized he was serious, but the damage was done. Said he was almost relieved she acted like this because it made the decision easier. I came over and helped him move all her stuff into boxes for her to pick up. I wasn't there when she came to get everything, but his sister was there and had to get between them because his ex kept trying to kiss him one last time while awkwardly dragging boxes of her stuff out to her car. I'm sad I didn't get to be there. Apparently, she ugly cried most of the time. I'm gonna head over to his place after work to drink and play video games to get his mind off things. He's a dumbass, but I think he's finally learned his lesson about her. I just hope his next girl is loyal and doesn't talk so damn much during movies. Well, OP, good for your friend. Finally stood up for himself. Doesn't matter how he got here, he got here. So here's wishing you guys the best. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user DLHoff432. ASM gives me more work and it backfires spectacularly. So I work at Home Depot as a lot associate. My main job duties involve collecting carts from the lot and being on call to help customers load heavy items into their vehicles. Since I'm typically the only lot person scheduled during my shift, this means I'm running back and forth trying to help customers and get carts. It really is a job that needs 2 people, one on each end of the store, but it's just me. Now, I can usually handle this, but when I'm assigned other projects on top of that, it's too much. So one day, the head cashier, supervisor, who we'll call Karen, usually a nice lady but has Karen tendencies as you will see, told me that Kyle, ASM, had such a project for me. He wanted me to clean out an area of the side of the store and move a bunch of carts there. This was going to take at least a couple of hours because the area was such a mess. And since this was during the summer when the store was busier than usual, I would be constantly interrupted with loading calls and trying to maintain the lot. This is where the malicious compliance comes in. Kyle wanted me to focus on cleaning that area, which I did. It ended up taking 5 hours. Bear in mind that I also answered several loading calls during that time. The problem? I didn't spend any of that time collecting cars, so after those 5 hours, the lot was a huge mess of carts scattered about. Karen was not happy about it, as she gets really picky about the lot being free of carts. But I looked her dead in the eye and told her that I was just doing what her and Kyle told me to do. I then went on lunch while associates from other departments had to round up all the carts. After that, Kyle never asked me to take on other projects. Well, OP, they wanted you to clean that spot and you did an amazing job apparently, so good on you. Also, hopefully they understood they need more staff. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.